bonjour. On est dimanche plutôt. Il est 8h. 8h? Il est 8h. On s'est levé un peu tard aujourd'hui. Parce que on était fatigués. Il y a combien? Ah, Noémie est en train de regarder les temps d'attente. 55. Ah, 55 minutes d'attente à Avatar. Ok, super. Il faudra vraiment que si on veut le faire, il va falloir qu'on se lève plus tôt un jour. Quoi. Sachant que on s'en va à Animal Kingdom. Le parc ouvre à 7h30 pour les résidents des hôtels. Donc là, on est tard. Bonjour. Non, c'est pas toi. C'est pour ça que je bouge plus. Il sait pas trop où il va. Bon.
Je suis désolée, mais il y a un moment donné là, je sais.
Donc oui, on est tard. Donc du coup, pas tout de suite pour Avatar. Les autres temps d'attente, ça donnait quoi?
5 minutes.
Ok, bon. On arrivera bien à faire quelque chose. Donc le plan aujourd'hui, c'est de faire Animal Kingdom au matin. Hier soir, on a regardé ce qu'on avait comme plan, heureusement. Parce que tout à l'heure, on a un truc de réservé à Epcot. Et si on regardait pas, on serait passé au-dessus. Enfin, quoi qu'il y ait la notification, il y a le truc qui est mis maintenant sur la page d'accueil, il n'y était pas hier. Donc voilà. Là, on se dirige vers l'arrêt de bus. Et puis je vous reprends dès qu'on est à Animal Kingdom. Faudrait peut-être voir un peu qu'est-ce qu'il y a comme température à cette période-là. Juste pas venir se les cailler, c'est pas le but non plus. Allez. On est bon. Have a good day. J'ai mon bracelet qui s'est mis à... Oui. On en chope peut-être. On en chope peut-être un pour l'instant et on en reprend quand on ressort.
Un chacun, comme ça.
Ouais. Si je dis pas de bêtises, c'est à gauche. T'as pris quoi? T'as pris le truc pour les enfants? On doit aller par là, non? Oh, ils vont voir de Lyon. Ça doit être des Canadiens, je pense. Donc Noémie a pris le livre d'activité pour les enfants. Quoique je serais bien tentée de refaire le Wild Trek, quitte à en faire un pour deux, mais... Qu'est-ce qu'elle a dans sa boîte, madame? Ah non. Non. Il y a une tarentule dans la boîte, s'il vous plaît. Réaction en direct. Ah non. Non. Plus loin, là-bas au bout. C'est ça qu'on veut faire après. Je veux le voir en vrai, mais pas maintenant. On aura le temps après. Hein. Il y a 2 photographes. Il y en a un là et il y en a un là. Oui, quoique celui-là, il n'y a personne. Hein. Effectivement. D'accord. Normalement, pas rien. Hein. Noémie veut faire une photo de l'arbre, je pense. Pourquoi il vibre ? Bon, Pandora par là. Ah, il y a une nouvelle collection, le Roi Lion. Mais c'est la même qu'il y a chez nous, ça.
Partie.
That we were able to add in. You know, we were good on time. The only thing you want to do is
Nous sommes arrivés sur une planète inconnue. Il y a une madame qui se fait chier toute seule. Noémie veut aller à la madame qui se fait chier toute seule. Bon, on continue notre chemin. Il y a un Wilderness Explorer là aussi. Non, madame, c'était juste pour montrer, je crois. Oui. Oui, on va d'abord aller faire l'attraction et puis on ira faire les photos. Parce que sinon, on va jamais s'en sortir ici. Je vais rien dire. Je parlais autant pour toi que pour moi. Faudra quand même qu'on essaye de revenir voir si on sait y aller pendant la nuit. Ouais. On se met dans la file de Flight of Passage. Quitte à attendre 1 heure, on s'en fout. Ouais. Et comme ça on ressortira quand il fait nuit. Parce qu'il laisse rentrer les gens. Si. Si. Comme ça on...
Smoke the sound.
j'essaye toujours. Là. Vous allez par là ou on va vers Kilimanjaro?
Right here directly in front of us. I know you've got a busy day ahead of you, but we're only here for about the next 5 minutes or so. So all these birds are enjoying this beautiful Florida weather. Come on over and see us and hopefully they come down anytime they would like to, actually. My name is Lizzie and I'm joined by my fellow avian trainers and conservationists. Today we have Reagan, Natalie, and Aaron here. But more importantly, with the stars of our show, they're flying over the tops of our heads. They're still here. This is Badger and Monet, and they're blue and gold macaws. And they're doing what they do best, which is that all of our birds are free-flighted. We also train them with positive reinforcement training. So basically what that means is when they come down here and land with us, like this bird is doing right now, this is Badger, I am going to turn around and give Badger something that he likes to eat once he would like this thing that he usually likes to eat. Badger, do you want this? Okay, we're good. So Badger just took him a while to figure out that he got down here somehow. And that's our way of communicating to them. Now, we're super excited that they decided to join us here today. That's positive reinforcement training in action. And what Monet is showing off right now, looks like she is in that leader, leader exhibit, is how loud birds like this can be. That is actually just a fraction of how loud parrots like this can be. Blue and gold macaws, all parrots, all macaws, they're pretty known for being loud. It's their way of communicating to other birds where they are located, and that voice can be so powerful and so loud it can be heard from miles away. which means in the four walls of your home, it isn't necessarily a super desirable behavior. It is the #1 complaint that we hear from people who have birds like this in their home as pets. And as much as we love sharing these beautiful birds with you every single day, we do recommend that you not put them in your home as pets. Because it's not just that they're loud, they're really destructive, really messy, and they live upwards of 40 to 50 years, sometimes even longer, making them a lifelong commitment. So it's just a lot easier and cleaner for your homes too if you just enjoy them at places like Disney's Animal Kingdom. Now, if you're just joining us, I see some new faces in the back. Welcome everybody to Winged Encounters. My favorite part is about to happen, so if you're walking by, this is still a great time to come in and see us. You can kind of stand wherever you'd like here in the hub, but anywhere up here is really great because these are not the only 2 birds that we work with here at Winged Encounters. In fact, we work with 8 out of the 17 different species of macaw every single day, and there is one in particular that is very special to us. They actually look very similar to the blue and gold macaw. They're called blue-throated macaws, and they're really rare. A critically endangered species with fewer than 400 of them left in the wild today. That's why we partnered up with an organization called the World Parrot Trust. Birds like the blue-throated macaw out in the wild, and together last year we actually traveled with and sent 14 adult blue-throated macaws down to the country of Bolivia with the World Parrot Trust. Right now those birds are at the breeding center, and our hopes are that one day their offspring will become a new generation of wild macaws. Because that's what it's really about, right? Not just showing you these beautiful birds here, but making sure we see stars moving around out in wild places. This right here is what it's really about. We have so many birds right now, and if you take a look, you're going to see all sorts of different shapes, colors, and sizes of birds flying around right now. I guess it really is nice flying weather. So it wasn't just Badger and Moonit that decided to do a couple of victory laps when they entered, but our entire flock right now is still flying around and just enjoying this beautiful day. And there are birds just kind of going all over the place. That's also why I just personally love this show. I love that our birds can kind of go and do whatever they want. It's really nice when they decide to come over and all they are doing right now. But they also are allowed to do whatever they want to do, which includes going to other parts of the park where maybe you're going to see a wizard here. This is a really cool bird that we get to see in all of you. Wizard here is a red-fronted macaw, and he's actually our oldest macaw here at Winged Encounters. This little tiny bird is 27, so showing you these birds can live a long time. Wizard could live another 20 or 30 years, but despite his small size, he is a fully grown macaw. We have other different species too. This is really cool. We have Marvin, the green-winged macaw, that's his bird right under here, and then Jessie, the scarlet macaw as well. And these are the birds that we have landing with us today. Feel free to come on over, take pictures of them, come see them, ask any questions, and we'll be back later again this morning. Thank you all so much for joining us here today at Winged Encounters.
Bon. Ah, ok. Oui, quand ça a coulé. Nous voici donc en Afrique. Si je dis pas de bêtises, ça doit être tout droit. Non. Oui, 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 il va avoir des burgers ou un truc de style. Qu'est-ce que t'as vu? Il est par là. On peut aller voir, hein, ceci étant dit, au pire. Moi je dirais là-bas au bout. Juste devant. Walt Disney World. le seul endroit où les enfants mangent une glace à 9h30 du matin. Et nous, on s'en va au Safari qui est juste devant.
My name is Michelle. I'll be your safari tour guide today here on the Rond Wildlife Reserve. Now for your safety, please remember to remain fully seated at all times, keeping your hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the vehicle at all times as well. Hold on tight to any loose items you may have, like phones and cameras. Not able to stop to pick up anything that falls outside of the truck today. So again, just hold on tight to those loose items, especially with any pictures or videos of any of the animals we'll see today, just like on those animal spotting guides up there. That gives you a good idea of what we'll hopefully see. You may not see all, may not be able to stop for every single one. So definitely keep your eyes peeled, cameras ready, as the warden's given us our go-ahead to start our 2-week journey right away here. Harambe and Swahili does need to come together.
2 weeks journey?
See how all of these animals live in harmony. We're going to start our journey here in the little terry forest first. Lots of bushes and trees, lots of very shy, reserved animals with some unique camouflage. So keep your eyes peeled. As right away, you'll see some animals both left and right. So on your right hand side here, you'll find the okapi, while top left, the bongo. The bongos are known as the ghosts of the forest, with their horns pointing backwards, allowing the leaves to slide on by. Amazing hiders there, just like the okapi on your right. The okapi was first discovered in 1901 and once thought to be a mythical creature with a unique coloration on all of their bodies. However, the okapi is the only known relative to the giraffe, so they'll use their foot-long tongue, kind of like a large hand, to enter the leaves and grasses nearby. Tongue so long, they'll use them to clean their eyeballs and their noses. Well, top left here, that larger light brown antelope is going to be known as the greater kudu. Greater kudus will stand about 5 feet high to just their shoulders, so they're known for their agility skills. They'll gracefully hop on over any obstacles in the way to stay far away from any potential danger nearby. Both the greater kudu and the bongo share those white stripes on their backs, kind of resembling the light shining down through the leaves and bushes, helping them stay nice and hidden from any danger nearby. Some other animals much prefer the broken down trees and little bits of red clay, so if you're lucky you'll see somebody hiding over there. But just around the bends here, you'll also see that very tall bird on your top right. That tall black-winged bird is known as the saddle-billed stork. Saddle-billed storks will stand about 5 feet tall, named after that yellow coloration on their beak, looking like a saddle. They'll rattle their beaks to speak to one another, which is a unique sight to see, just like their wingspan. When they open their wings, they'll be as wide as the canopy above our heads. That's about 9 feet wide. Well, top left here, you have a beautiful view of the black rhino. Very small species of rhino, only weighing about 3,000 pounds. They'll use their prehensile, pointed lip, kind of like a large hand, much of the stronger leaves and grasses nearby. Other horns, they'll be made of keratin. That's the same protein animals rely on the trees and brushes to stay nice and hidden. So we can help them out by reducing or using recycling paper. We're also swapping on over to bamboo. Bamboo is a grass species that grows about 3 feet a day, so it's quite abundant and quite durable too, making a great replacement for paper, but a really good hiding spot for some other animals. We'll see lots of bamboo on our top right. As we're leaving the little terry forest, we're making our way on over to Safi River now. Safi River will start on our right hand side and then cross on over to our left, so good views both left and right to come around. Especially of all the birds down below. The larger white birds with the larger beaks and feet are going to be the pink-backed pelicans. They'll hang out in large groups or families known as a pod. With that beautiful pink coloration hidden on their back, just under the wings, it kind of looks like they're blushing during nesting season, which is when that pink color grows the brightest. On average, pods will hang out in families with more than 500 individuals. Quite social, like the Nile hippopotamus on your left. Nile hippopotamus are very large herbivores, so they eat lots of plants early mornings or late evenings. Midday, when it's super hot, they like to stay nice and cool within the waterways, as they can hold their breath for about 8 minutes at a time. So even while sleeping, the Nile hippopotamus will rise and fall without waking up to catch their breath. In Greek terminology, the Nile hippopotamus is nicknamed the river horse. As because rapid in swimming, they much prefer to hop and walk along the bottom of the riverbeds. Helps them save their energy for later. If we're lucky, we'll see some more hopping and walking just upstream here, nearby the waterfalls, one of their other favorite spots. Helps them stay nice and cool and refreshed. So you'll see a couple more on that far left nearby the rock wall, just in front of the water.
Ah oui, là-bas. Là-bas au fond.
But we'll also cross on the other side over here, and we'll start to see some Nile crocodiles. Now, crocodiles can be about 16 feet long, known for their powerful jaw strength, as they'll eat lots of meat, probably nurturing to their young, in which they'll create a little self-hatch or carry their young in the jaws, protect them from any potential danger nearby. Sometimes their jaws will stay wide open, allowing the hot air to escape their bodies. Other times, they much prefer to swap between land and water to regulate their body temperature. That makes water super important. So we can help out animals here by making sure that waterways stay clean. Disposing of trash or chemicals to percolate helps out those animals alone. Also, as humans too, so we also need lots of clean water to stay nice and cool and hydrated. But also, take a look around. All of these beautiful plants need water. Especially for the larger trees that we'll start to see around the bends, like this one upcoming on your right. This large tree is going to be known as the baobab tree, otherwise nicknamed the upside-down tree, based on those branches looking fairly similar to roots. They tend to stay leafless for about 9 months out of the year, allowing lots of water to be stored inside. They kind of act like a large sponge, in which animals tend to walk up to the baobab trees to munch on the wood and receive that water. We'll see some more baobab trees as we make our way on into the savanna. The savanna is a very large, wide, hot, open ecosystem, home to many popular animals who may know it, like giraffes and zebras, but also home to some unique species as well. As we go around the bends, we'll start talking about each one as we get much closer to them, but of course they can also get much closer to us here, just depends on how comfortable they are. So we'll make our way around the windy bends here shortly and get a little bit closer to the spots out there. But first, we're going to head on over to these larger copies or rocks. Usually by the copies, we'll find some predators nearby. So we'll go take a peek and see if we can see anybody. Looks like we'll see somebody sleeping just inside the den on your left. So these are going to be African painted dogs. African painted dogs are a little bit different than your typical dog because as they're amazing hunters. They'll be led by an alpha male or pair within their packs, and because they're able to communicate fairly well with one another, they're much more successful hunters than even lions sometimes. Now they're part of the canines,
ils sont endormis là.
a little bit different than other canines, so pretty cool predator over there, tending to be active early mornings or late evenings. Well, just up ahead, we're going to find the sable antelopes and the ancole cattle.
Et là-bas, il y a des
Sable
petits.
antelopes on your back left are going to be the emblem of our reserve. Known to protect themselves with those curved horns, while the antelope species are going to run far away from danger. They like to say that they'll fight rather than flight. Well, next to the warden's truck here, you'll find the ancole cattle, nicknamed the Watusi cattle, after the Watusi tribe that first domesticated them. For those large horns, going about 6 feet tip to tip. Surprisingly lightweight, so they have a honeycomb structure inside, allowing their blood veins to run right through, giving them a nice cool breeze all day long. They'll shape their horns on these termite mounds, made with dirt, dung, and spit. Once the sun dries them up, they can be as strong as concrete, making great scratching posts, but also nice little bird eye viewpoints for smaller animals to hop up onto. But of course, a beautiful scratching post for the giraffes here. Your animal spotting guides are going to say reticulated giraffe, which is a little bit different than the Maasai giraffes you're seeing here. Reticulated giraffes will have smooth round spots, while the Maasai giraffes here on your left are going to have spots that almost look like paint splotches, a little rigid on their edges. Both part of the giraffe species, they're the tallest land animal on Earth, standing about 16 to 20 feet tall, with the extra foot of length on their tongue used to eat all day long, only sleeping a total of 30 to 90 minutes of the day out of a whole 24-hour period. Not a lot of sleep, so they love to eat, creating these beautiful tree lines, providing lots of shade for themselves, but also for the animals around. Just like on your far right, you're going to see 2 species of antelope, the wildebeest and the springbok. The wildebeest are the gray antelopes. They're the second most densely populated animal on Earth, right behind humans, hanging out in large herds with over 1.5 million per herd. They're also known to travel in huge migrations every year, over thousands of miles, so it's super important for each one to keep up with one another, which is why they'll have suck glands next to the hoofs. That way, if one were to get lost, they can smell each other out. Or we can also call out to each other by making a noise similar to a cow, spelled as GNU and said like new. Pretty adorable when doing so. While the springbok are those small little antelopes with that brown, black, and white coloration. They're pretty quick, jumping about 6 feet high, 13 feet long, reaching about 60 miles per hour. That makes Springbok one of the top 10 fastest land animals on Earth. Very small, as big as like a mid-sized dog. However, mighty quick on those little legs. Just around the bends here, we'll find some more Maasai giraffes nearby, but on your far right, you'll see some Hartman mountain zebra. Now, Hartman mountain zebra are going to be one of 3 species of zebra found here in Africa, known for their white bellies, but also that little bit of extra hanging skin under their neck, known as their dewlap. That allows their blood veins to run right through, giving them a nice cool breeze all day long. All those stripes are unique, kind of like our own fingerprints, but also like the spots of the Maasai giraffes that we've seen today. All helps them ID who is who. But we're going to dive on a little bit deeper into the savannah here, into some new territories. Lots of broken down trees, lots of red clay, so we'll head on through and see who else we can find. Sometimes super easy to see animals out this way, other times not so much. But lucky for us, we have a beautiful view, the African elephant just up ahead. African elephants are known for their very large ears, really the shape of Africa. Use ear sounds from miles away, even like bees buzzing, but also used to cool down their body temperatures by 10 degrees or so. Male African elephants tend to hang out by themselves, while females will hang out in larger groups or families known as a matriarch. Well, on your back left, you'll find the mantle monkey walking around. The largest monkey on Earth, kind of looks like Rafiki right back there, with that coloration on front and back side. That was the male mandrill, being 50 pounds, much larger than the females. Very large species. They both live to hide in between the trees here. But when the African elephants are ready to look for more food, they'll walk on this road, causing some road closures nearby, as sometimes they'll make some pit stops by the red clay walls, in which they'll use their large ivory tusk, kind of like a large rake, to gnaw and eat at the red clay. Gives them lots of good vitamins. Us humans will also use red clay as a mineral coltan, which is found in all electronic devices. As you can imagine, we use lots of red clay and coltan every single day, just like the African elephants do. So we can stay in balance with one another by recycling older electronics we no longer use. That way, whenever we buy new ones, we're using the same amount versus taking too much away from others that utilize it. Especially here, you'll start to see how tall the red clay walls can get, providing lots of shade and lots of protection for them. So we'll head around the bends here. May see some footprints or ivory tusk marks nearby. We'll hopefully find a matriarch or family of African elephants. After all, they're very large herbivores. On average, African elephants will eat about 300 pounds of plants or vegetation a day, which is as big as our baby could be once born. Their trunk alone will have more muscles than your entire human body. Perfect to break down branches from even those baobab trees way out there, where we'll start to see the African elephants. Baobab trees have another nickname known as the tree of life. And that's because they provide a variety of animals lots of water. The brushes of the baobabs and the bushes nearby will open up just enough up ahead on our left to see them a little bit better, I think. So we're going to continue on over. On our way, we'll find some more Maasai giraffes hiding just in between the brushes and the baobab trees. You'll even find the baby Maasai giraffe just in the middle on your right. Still less than the yellowed, only about 8 feet high, so still very young. Doing quite well though. Now, a full-grown Maasai giraffe weighs about 3,000 pounds. This guy on your bottom right, the eland, weighs about 2,000 pounds. Standing about 6 feet high to just their shoulders, the elands can also jump 6 feet high. So the eland is a pretty large and mighty antelope here. You'll see 2 of them as we dive on into the watering hole. Lots of animals will briefly visit the water side to stay nice and cool and hydrated all day long. So we'll dive on in as well. You'll maybe see the African elephants a little bit better on this back left here as they're hiding just in the shade of the baobab tree. But just over here, we'll see the flamboyants or family of greater flamingos. Hence their name, greater flamingos are one of the taller full species, standing about 5 feet tall, with this really pretty light pink coloration on their feathers, which in general comes from their diet known as brine shrimp. Brine shrimp has a protein known as beta-carotene, which gives them all that pink color that you'll see, which is why when they're first born, they'll either have white or gray feathers. Other species of flamingo, due to their smaller size, are going to have a darker pink saturated color to them. Personally, this is one of my favorite spots, as you can see the African elephants and the flamingos all at once. Sometimes even the elands or other antelope species will hang out here too, so it's a pretty cool spot to hang out and see lots of animal activity. However, we're only a little bit more than halfway through the savannah now. After all, not all animals prefer the watering holes, so we'll slowly move on along. Some other animals much prefer huge muddy puddles. I like to call those mud wallows out this way, which some animals will roll around in the mud and dirt, covering themselves in it to stay nice and cool, but also acts like a large sunscreen or natural bug repellent to protect their skin from the harmful UV rays, but also from bugs nearby. Just like the Crasher family of white rhinos on your left. White rhinos are a very large species of rhino, each one weighing about 5,000 pounds. The Afrikaans word bite, meaning wide, describes their lip shape, as it's quite wide and flat, perfect for them to munch on the lighter grasses of the savannas, with their horns being made of keratin. That's the same protein as your hair and fingernails, it's quite strong and all come together like so. Along with those wide and flat lips, they also have some very wide and flat feet resting on their tippy toes, allowing them to tippy-toe around 30 to 40 miles per hour, very quietly around the savannas. You don't usually hear them running around. Now, they're pretty quick, but if we're lucky, we'll spot somebody a little bit faster just around the bends here, so really keep your eyes peeled. Especially with the sun shining between those leaves there, sometimes it's really hard to find anybody out there. Some animals out this way are going to be crepuscular. That just means that they'll be active early mornings or late evenings. Midday, when it's super hot, lots of animals like to retreat for the shadows. So it looks like they may be a little hard to see if they are out here. So we'll keep on moving along. We may have some more luck nearby the Kobe or rock formation just up ahead. Usually some larger predators love to roam around the rocks. So we'll head on over and see who else we can find. After all, this is also a little bit more of white rhino territory, so if we're lucky, we'll see some more hanging out. Lucky for us, we'll find the pride or family of lioness. The female lion is going to be known as the lioness, while the male lion is going to have the fur and mane around his head. The lioness will do most of the hunting for the pride, while the male lions are going to stay back and protect the territory in pride. Pride is their family name, and if you want to say lion in Swahili, they'll be known as Simba. Now, lions do sleep about 20 hours a day. So as you can see, they look to sleep to stay nice and cool, as that fur does get super hot super quickly. Especially for the male lion there with his fur and mane. It's a little bit small and light color right now, but that's just because he's still very young. When he reaches about 5 or 10, that's when the mane is going to get much larger and darker with time, just like those roars. On average, the roars can be heard from about 5 miles away, so definitely listen out for them. You may just be lucky to hear them. But we'll head on away from the high grounds and pass by some lower grounds nearby some burrows. Some animals tend to reuse burrows or make their own. It really just depends on what type of home they're looking for, whether or not they're already hiding deep within those burrow sides. This is also a little bit more of white rhino territory. This is also a little bit of ostrich territory. It does look like they may be out and about looking for breakfast. However, the wardens have let me know of some ostrich eggs that we'll be able to see just down below on our right hand side. Each ostrich egg is going to weigh about 3 pounds. That's a whole clutch or a group of them. And if you wanted to, you can actually stand on an ostrich egg without them breaking. And that's because those shells are super strong. Helps protect them from any potential danger nearby, especially when the ostriches are out and about. Lucky for them though, they have laid their eggs just on the edge of the savannah, a little bit closer to the warden's post. So we'll head on out and over and see what else they have in store for us for today. As the wardens, we'll do lots of conservation, helping keep the natural balance and harmony between us humans and all the cool animals we got to see today. Lots of conservation efforts out here, so you'll see lots of rain barrels set up to collect rainwater to reuse. And then just around the bends, with their small amount of farmland, it's perfect for their cute companions, known as the Nigerian dwarf goats. Nigerian dwarf goats make some amazing milk and cheese, in which the wardens will collect to either eat and drink or sell back in the village for profit. Very good for the wardens, good for nature so they don't take a lot of farmland, but also good for the goats, as they love the companionship and the protection that they receive from the wardens. Next to them, you'll see all those clothes on the clothesline, saving electricity by drying those clothes outside. But then you may have also noticed that triangular yellow hanging box out front, which is a beehive fence created by the Disney Conservation Fund as part of the Bees and Elephant Project. A really cool research study in which they found that African elephants don't really care for bees. Just like as humans, we don't like to get stung or bitten by insects either. So luckily, African elephants will use their super sensitive hearing to listen out for bees buzzing from miles away. So having beehive fences around African farmlands protects the crops from potentially getting eaten by the African elephants, provides a home for the bees to live in, but most importantly protects those African elephants from dangers nearby like poaching. Unfortunately, most of the animals you've seen today are either endangered or threatened, meaning that there's not many of them left on Earth anymore, making conservation efforts super important. However, you'll have already been doing the most important step today, which is just simply learning about these animals. Gaining that knowledge and spreading that awareness to other friends and family members is one of the most important first steps. So as you continue to explore Animal Kingdom, definitely check out all the other animal encounters out there, as there's a few. Especially here in Africa, there's a total of 3 of safaris that no 2 are the same. Especially today, we couldn't see all the animals we could, but definitely come back. Some animals are going to be so prosperous, being active early morning for late evening. But some others, they tend to much prefer the hot savannah setting, so they're rarely a fool. While nearby is also the River Falls Walking Trail and the